Hello,
What's
hello,
up?
hello. Oh my God, we are just cracking up on today. Y'all know it is Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all even know who it is. Y'all
That's right.
know what we are about to do. We are about to come to you with some stuff, that we want to talk to you about and get your feelings and your perspective on what you think. And that's
That's
all
right.
we're asking. Let's talk about it. And what do you think? On that note, y'all know who I am. I'm saying I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice. Y'all know we do this every week. It's Wind Down Wednesday. It is the middle of the week, hump day.
Hump
We
day.
winding down. We winding down, and we gonna be talking about it. So, oh, hey, Robert, he early. What's
He
up?
early.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. He right on time.
How was your week?
Hey girl, look, let me tell you something. Yesterday, what Wednesday, I am playing catch up. I am trying to recover and recoup and process, process, process. But other than that, my week has been wonderful. I am trying to relax a little bit, come down off of my high.
Yeah,
No, but I don't smoke weed or none of that. So don't worry, but ain't that kind of high people.
to have life, to
The
have life.
high
So
off
we
of
had
life. But
a
I doubt that,
wonderful time.
yes.
A
And I
wonderful
doubt if I ever come down off of it because, that's the way I like living life. It's like on a very happy and
time. I
positive
know.
mind.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, my week has been wonderful. I got some bad news on Monday, but God is yet still good, and we're gonna keep moving and keep rolling and keep going and keep praying for families, my family, and everybody else's family. But other than that, my life, my week, this moment right now is wonderful. Am I making plans for future endeavors? Yes, I am. Am I making plans for a future life? Yes, I am. Because just because one ended doesn't mean like another one can't begin. And then that one didn't really end. It just paused for a minute. So
New
that's
chapter. So new chapter being written. That's all.
yeah, that's all. Just being revisited in a different way. So other than that, my week has been wonderful. And how was yours?
Oh, it's been great. It's this weekend we had a fun time. Congratulations again
Thank you much.
for all the folks you done touched and you done helped and you done supported and you done talked to, and man, just thank you for your service.
You are so
Sorry,
welcome.
Sergeant.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, so we had a ball. We had a blast. It was a fun time. I enjoyed being your picture person. You know what I mean? Friday night,
Yeah,
that was funny.
that was funny and fun.
Yes, it was. So yes, it's been a great week. Cannot complain at all.
Good, 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 good. Matter of fact, on Saturday night, somebody actually they was having such a good time. Somebody actually fell on the floor. Yeah,
Oh,
from
wow.
taking pictures. I was rolling. I mean, I just rolled because they were just.
Yeah, okay. They was okay though.
Oh, they were fine. They were fine, but it's hilarious because they were taking pictures and they didn't know what to do when they was doing all this, that, and the other. Girl, I was
Did
rolling.
anybody get any footage? Cause I gotta see it.
I don't know if they did, but I know it was funny. Funny. I was like, Lord Jesus. Always one. It's always one. But I think that, for the most part, the event was wonderful. See, Tanya knows. She was like,
Hey,
yes,
Tanya.
what's up, Tanya? Tanya even knows it's hilarious. We're not gonna say no names, Tanya. We ain't gonna say no names.
They
But
shall remain nameless. Yes.
yes, they shall be nameless. But we had a great time. We had a great weekend, and I think everybody had a wonderful time and enjoyed themselves, which is what you all know what I like to do. It ain't about me, it's about the people that's there. I'm always trying to make sure that the people that are there have a good time because I don't care if it's just me in the room by myself. I'm gonna have a good time, and I think everybody ought to know that. But you know,
Sure.
it is what it is, and we do what it do. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of things. Let's talk about it. Yesterday was a voting day. Yesterday was voting, and I pray everybody went out and did their due diligence and voted. But there's always some shenanigans that's going around when it comes to voting, you know. And what I don't like is if and I wish they could change some things, but then that's up to the people when you get out to vote. You have to be able to get out there and vote and put the right people in place. I think the city of Cincinnati um, is in a good place with some of the people that they have on council.
Right.
Because
The beginning.
yes, it's very diverse, which is important because I think Cincinnati is a very well diverse city. And to have a diverse council and to have your first minority to be sworn in as mayor says a whole lot for the city of Cincinnati.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's a different time. It's a different day.
Yep.
And it's about time.
It's about time. But the thing about it is, you and I know, is that when people get in position, things change, people change. And the process, you know, they're in there now. You know, they're in there. So the question is, do they maintain what they went out and fought so hard for the people to vote for them and get them in there? Or do they slip and slide?
Do they follow along, right? Do they follow along with the program, or do they make their own program? Exactly.
Right. Do they slip and slide on the other side, you know, and start lying about things? So, you know, that's why I don't really like politics. I really don't care for politics. But there may be a time, and you know, somewhere in the future, that I may have to. I feel the need to get into politics because you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. But can I do that? I don't know. Do I see myself doing that? We'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Hey, it's putting a lot on the line. I can just say that they cross so many lines and so many boundaries. When you get in that arena.
Yes. And the one thing that I do know when you do that, you know, if you're in the political arena and you're running for office, you yourself have to be knowledgeable and smart. If you're not, then you need the people around you to be very smart and knowledgeable of everything that's going on. If the paperwork said A, I don't need you to say that's not an A, that's an F. So I need you to understand what you're reading. So when you're in office, you can do what you need to do
right.
While you're holding that office. Don't get in there and be dumb.
Or persuaded, or you know, and it always, unfortunately, it goes that way, where you know you get up on a podium and you say one thing, and then when you're in that position, you do something totally different. So, you know, we always talk about Jesus, we always talk about the Lord. When we ain't no shame in our game. So I just pray that those who are put in those positions, that they're led in the right direction for, you know, the well-being of everyone.
Yes, which is extremely important. Which is what now draws me to our topic in the first place. You know, it's like, you know, you definitely want people surrounded, that you surround yourself with and that you are surrounded by. You want them to be good people. You want them to do the right things. But when you have someone that's always taking advantage or being a user, and you know they are, how do you handle it, and what do you do? How do you cope with that? And as we said earlier, before we even started talking, so it's easier said than done to cut people off.
Right.
It's easier said than done to bring that to one's attention, because I do feel like there are times where individuals do it purposely just to see how long they can do it and if they can get away with doing it. So how do you handle that? If you know somebody that's a user, you know they are using you for whatever it is. Now you know they using you. Now we can, it's like last week we talked about it, even in relationships, even in marriages, you know, well, we hope it ain't happening in marriages, but there are some relationships where one is using the other for benefits of, could be finances, you know.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sure we can name off just 5 people. It don't have to be 10. Hey, Phil, thanks for tuning in.
What's up? There go my brother.
Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm sidebarring real quick. Hey, when his song came on, do you hear what I'm trying to tell you? He don't care what's going on. He's stopping and getting his jam on. You hear me?
That is my brother. He is dancing to the side piece. I don't care I think if he's in a wheelchair or on a walker or a cane or whatever, you
I
let
don't care
side
what's going
come
on.
on.
Phil, if you on the toilet and that song come on, I already know.
You know what's gonna happen.
It's rap. It's a rap. I get
It's
back
a
to
wrap.
it.
Side piece is gonna come on, and everybody gonna get the side piece dance. I mean, it's just
That's
that you just
that's
gonna get
it.
the side piece dance. So,
But you know, it for some people it's easy. And you talked about in marriages. I mean, yeah, some people are getting in relationships because they know that, oh, I know that this is what this person can give to me or add to me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times I think it's easy, not all the time, to cut off a person that's using you, but a lot of times you don't see it'll be others around you who may, you know, try to shed a little light on the situation. A lot of times us as individuals, we see it in other people's lives, but we don't see it in our own. And so
or
that's a challenge.
or we want to overlook it because we always trying to give a person the benefit of the
Of
doubt,
that.
you
Yep.
know, thinking that they will at some point come around and realize, okay, I need to stop using this individual because I'm just using them for what they can do for me and give me, and they're really being taken advantage of. But it's even family members, we even have family members that do the
Yep.
same
Come
thing,
on. Come on. Yep.
so, and can you out of, and it's like we just said, it's easier said than done. Sometimes you can't just cut off a family member that is using you for whatever the reason is. It might
Right.
be you want to wash clothes over here all the time, knowing good and well you got a washer and dryer at your house, but you want to use me because you don't want to pay the gas and electric bill. It's just a lot of ways that individuals are using somebody else because they know that they're giver, and they're kind-hearted. So
But
so
eventually,
how do you handle that?
eventually though, that person's gonna get out. What they always say, the saying, every dog gets tired, get tired of getting kicked eventually. Like eventually a light switch will come on and that person will be like, enough is enough. And so, some say it quicker than others, some recognize quicker than others. It's all about timing, really. No one gets into a relationship, even when it comes to family, to just be, saying around or with somebody that's just gonna take
Right.
advantage and use them on purpose. They're really thinking like, okay, I can help this person out. Like they can benefit in a positive way. And sometimes that person is drained after a while. So it's not to that point comes where you're like, okay, this is it. This is enough. Either I'm gonna cut you off cold, or I'm gonna let you keep doing this.
Correct. Phil said, I hate answering my phone sometimes because certain family members only call when they need something. So I will be the black sheep to the family. And I get that, Phil. You sound like me. It's like there's so many. And the thing about what I don't like is that people think that you got so much, oh, you got this or you got that.
Right.
So, ain't no big deal for me to continue to use you. But I'm like you because the only time that some of my family will call me, and I tell them, don't call me if you're going to ask me for anything. I don't care. If you're going to ask
Right.
me for a safety pin, don't call me if you can't call to see how I'm doing, to see what's going on, and see what's happening. I don't want you calling me because you're not going
Right.
to. Some people, they take your kindness for weakness.
That's for certain. And like I said, you allow it. Sometimes you allow it. And then after a while, you're like, okay, I'm tired of being a bigger person. I'm tired of trying to be the only one that's trying to help you. Like, you need to be trying to help yourself. Like, I feel like I'm being used. I'm being taken advantage at this point. I got to cut you off. Sometimes you just got to cut folk off. Because if not, they're going to keep draining and draining and draining. It's not until you make a decision to say, hey, this is going to stop.
Yep. But so if it's a relationship, and if you're in a relationship and you know that person is a user, how can one marry that person knowing that they are a user? I don't know. I guess I can't answer that question, but
we got viewers worldwide, globally. And thank you everybody for tuning in. But if you are a person who you feel like you're in this position, whether you're married, engaged, boyfriend, dating, whatever, and you feel like you kind of feel like you're being used, like, talk to us about that. Talk to us about
how do you
how do you
stay in
continue
it?
to
Yeah.
how do you continue to but how do you continue to accept it?
How to move forward in a relationship where you know the individual is using you for what you got, what you can give, and what you can do. How do you stay in that? How do you move forward? Do you talk about it? Have you discussed it? Is it something that you want to discuss? Are you afraid to lose that individual because of, I don't know, maybe they look good, maybe they got a great job, maybe they're a nice person, maybe they are, come from a outstanding family. I mean, I don't know. How do you stay in something like that if you know that that individual is consistently using you for all the other reasons other than being there for the right reason? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, do I know people? Have I known people that do that? Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
Um, and some are, I know somebody right now that's in a relationship because of money. That's the only reason why they're in the relationship is because of money. It's because of what an individual can provide for them and do for them. But what is that basing the relationship on? Because either
Material things, and then here's the thing too. A lot of people don't understand. They weed themselves out, really. I mean, you eventually will weed yourself out if you're the person that's sucking, and sometimes we have folks in the relationship. It's a backwards and forth. It's a mutual thing. Like, you using me, I'm using you. I mean,
right.
we good. Everybody cool. We all on the same page. Well, let's keep it moving. You
But
got
where does
those
that
too.
get you? I mean, but where does that get you? Because at the end of the day, you're still not moving to the front of the line. You're still somewhere in the back or stuck in the middle because I mean,
Cause somebody go get tired. Somebody go get
at some
somebody go
point,
get tired.
at
Somebody
some
go get
point,
tired.
and you and is it gonna be too late? Because how can you recover from it? How can you come back from it? How can you get over it? Because especially, and we already know, I think we talked about this before. Money is the root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil. And a lot of
Yeah.
times that's the reason why an individual is using another person is because of money. Um, money, 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 money. It's what can you do for me financially? And it's not, the piece about what can you do for me physically, because shoot, come on, let's just face it. If you're a, doggy dog or whatever, it's physically having sex with somebody or doing something with somebody, that's easy. For some people, that's real easy. But
Well,
for,
when you're detached, and that mindset is, you got to stay focused on the goal. Got to stay focused on that pot. On
yeah,
that bag. Got to stay focused. So,
and that's what
we
we're
just
focused
got
on.
to do this. It's sad
It
because
is.
we really miss out on the joys of life. And I always tell people, especially if you're in a dating relationship or engaged or anything like that, like, you holding that person up. You really holding that person up for who they really may be intended for, wasted time.
But see, there may be the person may be in a relationship and don't care nothing about all of that. It's just the fact that, okay, I got this beautiful female on my shoulder. She's
I got
she's
this trophy.
amazing. Yeah, I got this trophy, and vice versa. I got this man that looks handsome, fine. He dresses well. He smells nice. I mean, it's like, what do you do when you got a user? Somebody is using you for all the wrong things. It's easy, it's easy to attract. What's going on, Keisha Gross?
Hey, Keisha, thanks for tuning in.
It's easy to attract someone, but what are you attracting them with, and why are you attracting them? You start
Right.
laying them, you start laying them dollars out, and you start putting that money down on the table, you know, that becomes a different thing. They're not there for you because of what you look like and all that other stuff. They're there because of what you can do for them. They're gonna use you to the hilt.
because of what it looks like, on how you provide whatever it is that whatever it is that they feel is glamorous, they gonna
Yeah.
stick with that because this is what I want. I mean, it's not really what I want, but I'm comfortable.
I mean, it's a shame though. It's like, and I wished they would be able to have, like, if I could call them and they have conversation and ask why did they stay in the relationship so long, that they were being used, because I know that, and I've seen that, I've been around them and I saw what was taking
Right,
place. And then you have to ask
right.
yourself, why did you stay in a relationship where you were used by an individual and they weren't really there for love or what you could grow together and become as one? They were there only because of what you could actually really do for them. So I was, I've seen that. And my question was, why would you even want to maintain a relationship, a physical relationship, a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance relationship, when you know that they are only using you for all the wrong things and not using you for the right things? So,
But here's the thing: did they know? Did they know? And was there anybody in their circle who say, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you to the side. We've been in this relationship. I'm cool with you. I'm your girl, or I'm your cousin. I feel like he or she is, you know what I'm saying, just using you." Like, has that conversation been had about, to them with those in their circle that they love, that they know they've been around the situation, they've been around the relationship, they can see things.
And Sean, it's easier said than done. You can show them a whole lot of things. You can, provide information for them. That does not mean they're going to stop using you for whatever they feel the need is. They're going to continue to do that. You can put all the information out in the world, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to
That's
stop.
not, Keisha said, at times they don't see what others see, and that's the thing too. Like, they may not feel like that they might not feel like they being used. Like, and that's why I said, like, earlier, like, it take a little bit of time. Like, everybody got a meter on them that runs out after a while. You know what I mean? Some people's meter is a lot longer than others. Some people's meter is short. But eventually they will see that this is not where it's at. Like, I'm literally being drained dry. And it may take for, new friendships to come around, people that you don't even know. I don't even know you like that. We done hung out maybe 3 times, but what I've seen the 3 times, I want to explain to you, express to you, I've seen this. Now you could take it or you could leave it, whatever. But eventually that person will be exposed. They will weed themselves out. I mean, it's only a matter of time.
It is a matter of time. And, at some point in time, you do have to realize and open your eyes and see. And then another thing is that what I do and what I have noticed, in the relationships that I've seen, some people that I know that are being used, it's like, if I tell you, if I bring it to your attention, then you get mad at me. And then you say, oh, you just jealous because of what I have. Well, what do you have? I'm trying to figure out what you got, because I'm
That's
telling
another
you right
thing too.
now.
I've been in that situation too. So you know what? I'm out of business that pay me because it backfires. For those who've never experienced it, and I'm not saying that will always happen, but I've experienced where you speak up about something and yeah, it backfired.
And it's
Oh, you
like,
want this, or oh, you want that, or oh, you think like, yeah, no, sweetheart, that's not it at
because
all.
you're telling them because you're telling them because it's in the best interest of what you want to see them, and how.
Because rightfully so, I would want somebody to tell me. You would want somebody to tell you. You know what I mean? Because it's the right thing to do. And we in times now where the right thing to do is the wrong thing to do.
Right. And it's like, if you do tell them, you're like, hey, I just want to let you know, they're using you for what you can do for them and what you got, and then they'll be like, oh, I don't care. The coochie good. Oh, I don't care. The dangling good. Oh, I don't care. They look good. Oh, I don't care. They, all kind of stupid stuff other than what you really need to be looking at is why are they doing that to me if I am one of the nicest persons, or I can be a nice person, or I'm a giving individual. You don't have to use an individual if they're giving.
Right.
I mean, you
True.
don't. If
But
somebody,
hey, you got givers and you got takers. You got bloodsuckers, and you got those who voluntarily, give you. They the blood bank.
yep,
So
we
it's
we
just,
got to make adjustments to life, because that is a part of life. But there's a part of life that you should be able to identify. I don't think love is so blind that you can't see when somebody is using you. I don't care who it is. I don't think love.
and I think that's in any realm. I mean,
Right.
because you could
That's what
begin
I
use
don't know
that.
what it
You could begin use that work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like,
Yep.
she ain't gonna do it. I know you sweet. I'm always ask you. You always tell me yeah. So can you do? You know what I mean? But eventually that person will be like, no. You need to go confront them. You need to go ask them. I don't want to
Exactly.
do somebody else's work. Like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yep. And that's the piece. But are you willing to? And see, and that's another thing. Some people aren't willing to stand up to individuals that
Yep.
are
They
using
feel like, yep, because they'll feel like they gonna lose, but nah, not really.
Robert. Robert say, I always tell my female coworkers they are queens. Love is like a pool of water. Only go in deep enough to where your chin is above the water. Not only so can you see, but you better get up on you so you can breathe too. Because if you go too far and you can't do anything, you ain't gonna be able to see or breathe, and get out without being without drowning. Now your mind is dry, and you can think how and move on. Yeah, and once again, that's easier
Hey,
said than
Ashley.
done. What's going on, Ashley? We miss you
Miss you
too.
too. Thanks for tuning in.
But you are so right, Robert. When we do give people information and we do try to tell them the right things to do and how to go about doing it, do they take that? Or do they consider that you're criticizing them for what they're doing and how they're doing it? Because a lot of people won't accept the fact that you would tell them if you don't get out of this swimming pool, you're gonna drown.
Right.
Point
And even in you telling them that and they may be upset or get upset about it, but it's like, don't talk to me about it no more. Cause I already gave you my perspective on it. I've already told you what I've seen. And so I don't want to keep hearing about it. You know what I mean? Like I've shared with you, you've asked me questions or whatever, we've had a conversation. I don't want to keep continuing to talk about it. Like this is something that you know is happening and you have yet to do something about it. But when that
Yep.
person gets sick and tired, you get sick and tired.
But then too, you got then you got people from the outside that's looking at what's going on with that individual, with that person, or with that couple or whatever, and they still fail to not listen and see what is going on, and then they're suffering, and then they suffer so much that they probably suffering themselves sick. It's ridiculous and crazy to even continue to be in a situation where at some point if you don't get out of it, you need to kind of sort of fade away from it. You need to slowly
And
fade.
sometimes you have to separate yourself from that person that you see that this is happening to because it'll start draining you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm just gonna start praying for him, or I'm just gonna start praying for her because me keep seeing it and I feel like I'm involved in it, like I'm engulfed in it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, and then it'll start draining you. Like, wait a minute, I ain't even a part of the equation. Hold on,
Exactly.
wait a minute. This is no, so I'm separate. I gotta separate myself. I gotta step back a little bit because I can't keep being around seeing you being used or mistreated or sneaky
Right.
stuff happening or
Right.
whatever. Like I can't keep being a part of that. So hopefully you respect that I can't because I feel like I'm drowning too. You know what I mean? So yeah, nah.
And then I get it too. It's like, and not realizing that that person is a user, because I've seen this take place too, where they know that you're close to an individual. They would try to squeeze information out
Yep.
of you. They're using you because they know that you are close or you guys are friends or whatever. They are
Yep.
using you to get information, to use it however they want to, or just to be nosy or whatever. You also have to realize that too. You have to
Yep.
recognize when a user is being a user. There's a lot of ways that individuals use other people. It's just, but sometimes when you finally realize it, sometimes it's too late. But then again, sometimes it's you realize it right on time. But then again, sometimes you don't. You refuse to realize it and just like,
Well, yeah, exactly. You realize it, but then you're making a choice to stay there. So everything is a choice as well. Once it's been exposed, when you've been told, you have people that rally around you, they're telling you what they see. At that point, then it's a choice on you on what it is that you want to do. You want to stay here, you want to move on. What? I mean, whether it's family, a cousin, a boyfriend, a fiance, a husband, whoever. It comes down to Okay, I seen it now. Now I got to make some decisions.
Right. Your kids can even be users. It's like, but I think that's a different,
Woo!
that's now,
Whoa!
now that's a different type of relationship.
It,
That's
it
a different
it
use.
certainly is, and that's why we have to teach them valuable lessons. Because if not, then we putting those people out into the world to use people because that's what they know. That's all they know.
Right.
They've always got a yes. They've never got a no. So
Exactly.
we have to put the right things in place so that that's not the case. But
Not
yes, a lot of us have a lot of little broke best friends running around.
yes.
A lot of
Yes.
stuff they want, and they ain't trying to work or do nothing to get it. So earn your keep, broke best friends.
Earn your keep, earn it the best of your ability. So, life can be pretty decent, for both. And with all that being said, it's like I had a wonderful weekend. Now I'm about to talk about my weekend because it's
Ooh,
over.
spicy.
Yeah,
Spicy. Hey, and the stress is gone. It's happened,
yes,
it's done, it was organized, it was nice, it was how God wanted it to be. Yes.
and that's it. But this is me, and I think the most of the, and Phil said it best when he spoke on Saturday night. If I fool with you, I fool with you, and if I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
And those were the people that got the invite. Those were the people that were there. But this is what I don't like. It's don't have me and I'm quitting. This is where the youth support portion come in at. This is where I know I cut people off.
Yeah.
Don't expect me to continue to invite you to something and you don't show up.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. And then when I don't do it, when I don't invite you, you get in your feelings because I didn't invite you. Well, I'm not
But
inviting you.
why when you knew you weren't gonna come no way? Because you don't ever come. So make it make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Make it make sense. Do you come to be nosy? Do you come to see who's there? But don't expect me to invite you to anything else if I've invited you a couple times and you don't show up. Because you all know I have things, I have events, I do things. I like giving back to the city, to the people, to individuals. But if you don't show up, I'm not inviting you again. Trust me on that. And you can be in your feelings all day long. But
Hey, you can take it how you want it at the end of the day. I just because that's selfish, first of all. And it's a waste of time. Like if you know that you're not gonna come, like I think just people just want to have something to say or have something to talk about or something to be the opposite in. They say go against the grain, those folks out there. So everybody don't mix and don't mingle together. So, if you invited to one thing and not the other, don't take it personal. It may
right,
be that person's own personal reasons why. And you have to respect that. Like we have to respect
exactly.
each other.
I mean, like you and I were talking earlier, there was a couple places that I stopped by last night, and it was like before the end of the night, and one of the places that I stopped by, it was like, a person said, "Oh shoot, I got to watch my back," and I'm like, "Hold up, wait a minute, what's going on?" It's like because there's somebody in here that I don't like, and they don't like me. I was like, well, don't let me get caught up in the crossfires, or the crosshairs or what's going on. And that's exactly why I say and do what I do because the people that I invite are the people that I like, and I know they'll get along with somebody else, and they get along with other people where you don't have to walk through a place and you have to look over your shoulder,
Right.
not knowing who's who and what's what and who's going to be there. So I think, you should, as my friend says a lot, stay in your lane.
Yeah,
Stay in.
and there's a difference a different time, like with maturity, you know what I mean? Because we're not kids no more. That you have to be mature enough to know, like, okay, I can't put this person in this room with this person because it might be a problem, and I don't want to
Right.
be a part of that problem. So when
Right.
that works out, you know what I mean? I'm
Yep.
separate from that, and so I mean, it's just like that sometimes. Like I don't want two people to be in a room together that absolutely hate each other, but I'm cool with both of them. Like that's that's confrontational and that's
Very
conflict. And
complicated.
everybody wants to have a good time. It's my event. I want to have a good time. I don't have
Exactly.
time to problem solve and why you mad and I know you don't like. I don't have
Yeah.
time to pep talk you
Nope.
into saying because you cool with me. Like we too old for that.
Too old for that. And no, Robert, that don't work. Somebody, if I can send some food over, but I'm busy, can I still get invited the next time? This is the thing. Um, I think if an individual gets an invite, they should be kind enough to say, "Oh, thank you for the invite, but I have other prior plans and I can't be there. I'm unable to be there." But to get an invite and you just don't show up, and then you complain about it when you don't get the next one, you got to ask yourself why you didn't get that one. Then you know you don't feel some kind of way, but you just got to let them know.
And I think too, it's that, but I think it's a conversation. Everything starts with a conversation. Even if you
Yeah,
pull me to the side and say, "Hey, this might not be no big thing or whatever, but I know that, you invited me to the one thing and then you had something else to invite me to. Like, what happened? What was up with that? Like, was it
right,
something that I did? You know what I mean? It's just the maturity of pulling that person
right,
aside, not making a scene, but pull me to the side. We have a conversation, and then you can get an understanding, and I can get an understanding. Because I
yeah,
don't know, maybe something came up in your life. You don't know. It's a whole bunch
no,
of assumptions that you can make. But as a
exactly.
grown person, pull that person to a side, have a conversation with them. It's about communicating.
It is that, and that's the key word. We talked about that last week about communication, about telling, and expressing yourself and explaining to somebody who's who and what's what. You shouldn't walk around with that burden and not telling and not saying. An individual need to know. But I'm telling you, I have gotten so many, even in the past, and it's like, I had my sister to call me the other day, a few weeks ago, and she was like, "Well, did you invite so and so?" And I'm like, "Nope." And I was like, first of all, I don't even know if I have their number. I said, but they're not coming. I said, they're not coming. I said, because every time I invite them, they don't come. So why am I going to continue to invite somebody to anything and they not show up? I'm not going to do that. And then when I stop doing it and I don't do it, now you want to get in your feelings and you want to have an issue and you want to have a problem. That's when those issues come in place. Like I was saying
But that's
about,
really stupid because I don't want you to have a problem because I'm wasting time inviting you and we both know you're not coming. So, I saved us both a trip. When it comes to time and, but have a conversation. Ask the question. Don't get in your feelings. Don't talk to somebody else about the situation. Like, come to me and say, "Hey, I'm feeling some kind of way. Like, you usually invite me to stuff. Like, what happened? I don't get invites no more." So
yep,
I could be able to tell you, like, "Hey, I stopped inviting you because when I was inviting you, you weren't even coming. So I just felt like XYZ." You know what I mean? So they could be like, "Oh, I see how you can." You know what I mean? You can go
right,
back and
right,
dialogue about the situation instead of making it more than what it is.
yep. That's what I said. That's
And you
exactly.
ain't go at the end of the day, nobody's gonna make everybody happy. I mean, that's
No,
just
you cannot.
and even after the conversation, the person may still be pissed. So,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, I mean, it's just life. You can't please everybody, and you're
Cannot.
not gonna make everybody happy.
Right. And we
It
shouldn't
don't
try.
go that way.
Right. We shouldn't try. We shouldn't always be that, and I was talking to somebody earlier and it's just like, when I was working, we would, have conversations or whatever. And it's like, well, why didn't you say something? Or why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you let them know? The first thing they want to say, oh, no, I don't want to have any, I just want to sit in the cut. I don't want to have,
But they
I
say closed mouths. What?
don't ever get fed.
There you go.
So you don't want to speak up on the things that you need to speak up on and communicate about. But then there's some other garbage and some bull crap that when you feel like the need to say something, then you will. So don't get in your feelings then if you're not invited. Don't get in your feelings if you don't.
If you get in your feelings, that's okay. Have a conversation with me privately.
Well, if you
And
can't have
then
a conversation,
and
if you can't
then
have a conversation,
whatever questions you may have may be answered at that time.
and if you can't have a conversation to me prior, then don't have a conversation with me at all. That's just me. I'm just speaking
I
from
just,
my
yeah, I just feel like it's just a way to address things, a way to handle things, and everything doesn't have to be messy. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be
yeah,
chaotic. It's real simple.
It's simple.
It can be, but a lot of times people make it more complicated than it actually is. It's just a
Yep.
conversation. It's
It's
nobody's getting hurt, nobody's bleeding, nothing. It's just talking. That's it. It's
point
your
blank
point of view. It's my point of view. You know, it's expressing how I feel. You expressing how you feel. I respect that. You respect me, and we're going about our day.
and be done with it. You know, and nobody is using anybody.
Mhm.
Nobody's abusing power. You know, and nobody's feeling left out because they weren't invited. All you got to do is talk about it. You know, you should be able to have that conversation. But you and I know that's all easier said
It
than
is. It is. But here's the thing: if I don't fool with you, and you know I don't fool with you, then why would I invite you?
and people, what people don't understand too, it's not because you're mad at them, because you're not mad. You're not. What are you mad about? You just don't fool with an individual.
You ain't my cup of tea, ain't your cup of tea, that's fine. You stay your lane, I stay my lane, that's fine. And so
Everybody's
why
gonna
would I?
be exactly. Why would I? And everybody agrees to disagree, and that's happening.
And that's the thing. That's the key.
That's life. You know, we're gonna all agree on the same thing, and we shouldn't. We're not supposed to. But you know, as my friend would say, stay in your lane. I can't even pick up a hammer and a nail and try to nail a board together. Stay in your lane. You know, it ain't that I don't know how to do it. Some things we just gotta stay in your lane, and it's okay to stay in your lane. Ain't nothing
I
wrong with
mean, I ain't, you know, I ain't that kind of architect. I'm an architect of the face. But when it comes to a building and all that stuff, like that, I don't know nothing about that.
what I'm saying.
So I'ma call those that I know something about it. And what I
And
know something about, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
exactly. I mean,
But I just life is too short, time is too precious, and we too mature for that.
we really are. Well, you should be. If you're not, you should be. So don't get mad at folks when you're not invited somewhere. There are obviously reasons, and please try to identify and know and realize who users are. I mean, that's one thing that I just don't like. I don't like users. I don't like people that use individuals for whatever it is. I don't care. You know, you can get the piece of paper from me every day. And you know you got paper, but you can get a piece of paper from me every day. You're gonna keep coming and ask me for a piece of paper? You're gonna keep using me for a piece of paper? I mean, come on. Don't do that. I mean, I don't think you'll prosper, but that's just, you know, me. That's just how
Right. You use me for an invitation to come to something, but you don't fool with me, I don't fool with you. So what we doing?
exactly. Exactly. It's crazy to me, but you know, I mean, we are adults, we're grown, we understand and we know what to do and how to go about doing it. But everybody doesn't think that way. Even as an
Nope.
adult, some adults don't think that way
There are
either.
there's old fools and there's young fools.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey girl,
Carolyn.
what's going on? Uh, Miss you this past weekend. I hope you're doing
Yes.
well. And I was gonna call you back, but I got extremely busy. So we're talking about users. We're talking about people that use individuals and know they are using them. They know they are using them for their advantage, for money, for
Whatever they can get.
notoriety, um, all of that, you know, just using an individual for all the wrong reasons, with the exception of what they're supposed to be using them for is the right reason. If I ask you for something, I'm not asking you because I want to use you because the first time that I know you, well, let me go back and ask again. Let me go back and ask again. You know, I'm not using your assistance to continue to just use you to just,
Because I know I can. Like some people
right,
have that entitlement, like I know that I can, I know that he will, or I know that she will, you
right.
know.
We see them, or we see them all, and we always around them. And that's the unfortunate piece. They're around us, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just can't come out and say, "I'm done with you. I'm through. It's a wrap." But what we can do is stop allowing them to use us the way they try to. I don't necessarily say we got to cut them off, but we definitely
But
need to
in that
really.
area, we
Yes,
have to redirect. We have to redirect because we cannot allow this shenanigans to keep happening.
right. But there are a lot of people, Carolyn, and I've seen it.
Yeah, Carolyn, she said, "Who
I've
allows
even
that?"
experienced it. Yeah, I've
You
seen it
would,
and experienced it.
yeah, you wouldn't think people do, but I mean, some people really they don't feel like they are. They really are blind, and some people they know, and they're just comfortable, you
Right.
know.
And that's it. They get comfortable with, and that's the whole thing. Their friendship or whatever, relationship or whatever, they get real comfortable with it. And they feel like, well, shoot, I can just, let me hold on. Let me just ease this in. Let me sneak this in. Let me see what I can do. And let me see what I can get. And then
Yep,
once they do that, and if they do it enough times, then they're going to realize, oh, this was a piece of cake. I can keep doing it. I can
yep.
keep doing it. Yep, they do mess with your spirit. Users, that's like a devil, girl. They like the devil.
It'll drain you dry. Have your spirit all over the place. That's what that
Right.
happens. That's what happens with that.
Exactly. Have your spirit everywhere but where it needs to be with you. It's like, because that is a users have a using spirit. And I do, and I know several. I know a lot of people that are users, and it's
It's
baffling to me
terrible.
how. And then if you tell them, girl or boy or man, let me tell you, then they get like they feeling some kind of way because you brought it to their attention. But I can't even understand that part either. I can't.
Well, they don't
Not
want you to recognize what it is that they're doing so they can continue doing what they've been doing.
right. When you're trying to help them, you're trying to be of an assistance to them. And I guess they don't realize it and they don't see it. But, hopefully at some point in time in their life that they will be able to recognize. Let's hope it's not too late though. See, that's the bad part. Somebody can be used so much and so long that it might be too late for them to even do anything about it. Because they've drained them dry mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, whichever way. Because
Yeah, broken. They've
that's what
broken
you
them.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
They break their spirit that breaks a spirit, and that's what they do. That's what they do.
that's a stronghold right there.
Yeah, yeah. When you think they're your friend, and when the lines
Yeah,
are blurred, yep,
yeah. Them
that
boundaries are definitely important in all
yep,
relationships.
it can happen, and it has happened. And the unfortunate thing, if it's not um, brought to the attention, or if it's not stopped, then they're gonna continue to do that. You're still gonna be blindsided by the light. You're gonna be blinded by the light. I don't care how much light shine in your face. Deer in headlight. You're still gonna be blinded by it because if you're not willing to open up your eyes and see that you're actually being used, or that person is actually using you, then sweet baby Jesus, I don't know what
Taking
to
your
say.
kindness for weakness. That's just not okay. Not okay.
It's not, absolutely not okay. So, but what we do have to do and continue to do is pray for individuals that we know that are that way, with hopes that they will stop doing it, and become better people, better individuals, that they're not doing that to anybody, because I don't know, it's just woo-wee, that's a baby, when I say I've seen it so many times.
Yes, it's really unfortunate because it just doesn't affect the person that they're doing it to. It affects those that are around them, and they can see like
Exactly.
it's like having on sunglasses. Everybody got on sunglasses except for this one person. They like, why y'all got on sunglasses? Ain't no sun. I don't see no sun.
Right.
And we like it's blinding us. We got our glasses on.
Girl, exactly.
A
We
shot
can't
in the
see.
dark.
Yeah, exactly, a shot in the dark, and that's what they do. They take shots at individuals in the dark to continue to see if they can get what they want from them or what they need. And they continue to use them for that purpose. And it's like, what are you basing your friendship or relationship on? Use. How long with it? What
What you
foundation
can
is
do for
that?
me. What you can do for me. What you can do for
Yeah,
me. What you can do for me. That's it.
That's it. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? I always got your hand out on something. Got your hand out, but you don't have your hand out, but you got your hand out. So I think that, if we see it, be careful what you say and how you bring it to one's attention.
Yeah, because you can't see something, say something. Because I'm telling you, folk don't like you. Especially if you ain't got no relationship with them, they're not gonna receive what you're saying. That's
Right.
another thing too. Like before we start approaching people, we gotta have pure intentions, and we have to have, you have to be led to the time and place to say something,
Right.
because randomly just I want to say something, like that don't mean that you should say something. That's the time. It's the
Right.
time and place for everything, so they can be able to receive what it is that you are saying.
Exactly. Exactly. So, at the end of the day, just be careful how you do things and what you do, because
And how you treat people.
and how you treat people, because you never know. You never know when you got to go back to them. But that bridge has been burnt because you have used them so much. You've used them up for unnecessary stuff that when you really need them, you
They
will
ain't
not.
gonna be around.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to go back and try to, put that brick in there to step across it so you can get across to the other side, because
It's
the
over.
piece of that bridge is missing.
It's
It's gone.
over. They done
It's a,
burnt that bridge down. You hear me? You
yep,
stand over there on that side. You ain't coming back on this side no more.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely correct. And it's I'm still, when I say I'm tired still, yes, I am. Yep. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm still exhausted
Rightfully so.
from
You had
this
a ball.
weekend.
Rightfully
I
so.
had a blast for 3 days, and I often say it ain't even over. That's just the beginning. But I had a wonderful time, had a great time. I had all my friends there, my family came, my siblings were there. Not all of them, but some of them, and the ones that were there just made me. I mean, I waited. Of course, I went behind closed doors and I cried because I was I was so overjoyed and filled with the
Emotional.
fact that
Yeah.
they were there, and I was my high school, my one of my childhood friends came in, and
Yes.
it was just fun and exciting. And then, to hear those speak on your behalf about your character is just, it's just amazing, the lives that was touched along the way. And it's not over. Like I said, it's
You got
not
your
over.
flowers. You got your
Mhm.
flowers now. You
Exactly. I
know.
try to I try to give flowers and receive some at the same time.
There you
Because
go.
once again, I ain't a user. So it's I try to give and receive and receive and give. I don't, it's a two-way street.
Yep.
you know it's not what you can do for me or what I can do for you, or vice versa. It's how can we get together and overcome and do this together as
As a
friends, and
team. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So don't be a user, folks. Don't be a user. But I had a wonderful time, and I love celebrating with people. But like I said, it's not over. This is just the beginning. I got something else that's coming up. We gonna have something else coming up. So we just trying
Yeah.
to get to the point where, we get it all situated and, planned out for everything. Carolyn, yeah, it might have been my weekend, but I like to say it was our weekend. I
Yeah.
like to say it was our weekend, but I do have some other things that's brewing. So stay tuned. Different formats, different everything here, there, everywhere. But it's about to go down. And I'm
Yes.
trying not to start anything major until January. So in the meantime, in the between time, the planning is taking place right now behind the scenes
As we speak.
as we speak. And we're trying to move forward and move along to make some things happen in life. So that's what we're doing, good folks. So pay attention, stay tuned,
That's
and
right.
keep
Never a
listening.
dull moment. Never a
Never
dull
dull
moment.
moment. And I'm not accepting no new friends right now. I got enough. Got enough.
The roster has been filled.
It's the roster is filled. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm good. I'm good with that. So y'all know what time it is. We come to that point in the show where we got to say hasta la vista. We out of here. Cause
Yes. And
y'all see my friend is in the dark. She's out there in the streets.
Yep, I'm out in these, I'm on location out in these streets. Our kids are in school and they got these sports and stuff. So, it's Tuck Radio. We universal. You know what I mean? We make it happen wherever we are. So, yeah. But my positive quote is, it's coming from my sister's birthday. And we say this all the time, but positive in, positive out. And that's in all realms. That's in all relationships with whoever. Positive in, positive out.
Correct. And we even made T-shirts that said "positive in, positive out" that we gave away this weekend. So those that weren't there and you were invited and you didn't make it, I guess you missed out on your T-shirt. But there might be a possibility that you can get one. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, see what's left.
We got to see what's left. But yes, our famous saying is positive in and positive out. Even if it's positive out, it should still be positive in. So either way you see it, that's the way we rolling. And y'all know what time it is, and you know what I say. You know how I feel. I love you guys. Just continue to pay attention and look. We're going to reduce a whole new different thing. I mean, a whole new different thing now that I can. Because now that I'm no longer...
Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
That's free now. That's free. So getting ready to be some marvelous things taking place with some people, with Hold Your Side, Jabron, and my girl Chanice. Just be on the lookout for us, because it's going to be some wonderful things getting ready to take place. Beautiful things, different formats, different everything, different places. So stay tuned. Be on the lookout. Be on the watch. Y'all know we love you, and y'all know what I say. It's always better to give than it is to receive. We out of here. We'll see you next